Hello everyone, this is Indradeep Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Aeronautical Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. In this video, we will see outcome-based education. That is, in short, we are just telling like that it's OBE, OBE everywhere. So that OBE is the outcome-based education. Means what? Whatever the education is there, for that, what actually outcome is there. So means first we are analyzing the outcome. What is the outcome? Why that things are there. So in this, what we will see. So just here. First, outcome-based education. So what is outcome-based education? Then next we will see why outcome-based accreditation is required. Right. Then the third, we will see the traditional versus OBE. Traditional means whatever the existing things are there. That and OBE, how the difference is there in between these two, or is there any difference, or same thing is there, and how which one is good or which one is even better. That we will see in traditional versus OBE, the difference of that one or one over the other, which one is greater. The next, focus and benefit of OBE. Why OBE is required? So we will see the focus on that one, how to focus and what benefit will be there from the OBE. Next, if you see a guide to writing and assessing learning outcomes, means after learning what you will get, how to write that one, like just project type. So how you will do the project, how to write the project thesis, and those, if suppose you want to publish the paper, then how you will do. So how to write these things means what you have the knowledge, how you can draft your knowledge. Okay, that we will see here. Next, we will see accreditation criteria. Right. So what are the criteria required for accreditation for OBE? Next, OBE framework means how OBE step by step we will see the framework of OBE. Next, administrative system for implementation of OBE. Then we will see that whatever the administration system, how we will do that one in the OBE, how OBE works. Right. This we will see. Then next, PEO, POs, PSO, and CSO. Okay. So this we will see in that one. Next, we will see the Bloom taxonomy. How that means according to Bloom taxonomy, only these things are there. So how Bloom taxonomy helps here, right? Next, we will see expectations on a student under OBE, right? So means what exactly expectations are there, right? So once a student will know about these things, then how they can perform and all. So what outcome should be there after learning the courses, okay? That we will see in this video. Okay, so let's start first, outcome-based education. So outcome-based education is a process that involves the restructuring of curriculum, assessment, and reporting practices in education to reflect the achievement of high-order learning and mastery rather than the accumulation of course credit. In the generally what happened? Okay, it's like so you have to clear the course. Means you have to opt this course, you will get the 3 credit, 4 credit, and overall after that, what you have once you will be in the final year or you are completing, you have to cross that credit limit, whatever is there. Okay, means your degree got over. So instead of simply accumulating, means simply adding credits in your score, right, in your mark sheet or in your course, better just see how we can change that one. Means the first thing is always what process that involves the restructuring of curriculum. So depending upon the requirement, it's not like that you can see even 10, 12, the long back the same syllabus is coming out. No one is changing. So now according to the demand of the industry, how the curriculum can be changed. So everywhere, like 1 or 2 year or every year, you can say that courses can be changed or modified according to the need of the industry. Next, how assessment and reporting practices, means how to give the assessment, what should be there in that, how to report that one, these things. So means just overall whatever the existing things is there, how you are changing so that we can achieve or that a student can achieve the high order learning instead of that the conventional one. Okay, you will get the engineering degree and all, that's all might be later, that is not that much effective. So instead of that, high order learning, so means once you will finish this course, definitely you can feel you are better than the other students who is not opted or who is not according to that OB, who is not following the outcome based education. So that's why this is very important compared to, that means this one is very useful compared to the conventional courses. Right. Now the thing is why outcome based accreditation is required. The thing is now we are in India. Suppose if you want to go for higher study, right, for that, then what happened? Then you will feel no, I am outdated. Whatever they are teaching or their things are there, that we are outdated because we are using the conventional one. So just to match with the industrial demand, right, or globalization, then according to outcome-based education only, we can change that one. So but globalization has brought in a clear shift from education as transmission of experts' knowledge to education as building learner competencies, including learning to learn and lifelong learning. So it's not only just you finish your degree and you are. It's all about lifelong learning. So means throughout the life you can learn something depending upon the requirement. Once you will have, suppose earlier many people are using the GW basic. Now no one is using. Right. Even then we started C++. Now not upgraded version of that one like Python, Java, these things we are learning. So depending upon the requirement of the industry, that means we have to upgrade yourself, right? And that will be possible by outcomes based education, right? So means all the time you have to upgrade yourself so that you can sustain in the industry according to their requirement. So in that, what you have to do and how you will. So that means focus will have to be on. So where you have to focus. So this is understanding fundamentals very well. Means whatever the fundamentals are there, the basic is there, that you must know clear. If suppose you have doubt that basic is not clear, then what happens? It's obvious you cannot move further. You cannot solve the complex problem or anything. So your fundamental should be very clear. And learning new skills, competencies that would enable individual to cope with the demand of the rapidly changing. Just I said, according to the requirement is there like C, Java, Python, and also now C also is almost, we are not using that much. So from the C only the other languages are there. But directly C earlier from GW Basic, once GW Basic was there, then Fortran came. That also got obsoleted with C, C++. Then now, so depending upon the requirement, you have to improve yourself, but you have to learn till the whole life so that you can update yourself with the demand of the industry, because industry is rapidly changing. It's not like that, okay, for 5 years you are using suppose C++, and then next year or 20 years also that they will work or be required to work on C++ only. Now still we are working on Python. Later might be updated version of some other software will be there, which will obsolete the Python programming itself. So whatever is there, that means we have to update till whatever the requirement of the industry is there according to that one. Next, what we can do with that one? So prepare global engineers who will have to solve problem and shoulder challenges which are not even known today. So with this only, because what we are updating, that means the students are updating yourself. So definitely whatever the challenges not yet solved, right? That type of engineers can solve that problems. Right, so that's why it's a prepare global engineer, so that they can work anywhere, any climate or any condition. In simple word, you can say in any environment, they can work to solve the problem which is still even not known. Also, not forget about that, to solve just whatever the known is there. If it's not known, then also to find okay whatever the problem might be arises in the future, let's solve that one. Just like the corona is the best example. No one was aware about the corona will be there, so no one prepared. Right, in first phase. What about second phase? We came to know about that one. So in second phase, we prepared according to that one. So that means even suppose before the corona arises, if suppose that someone found that okay, no, now corona will be there in after certain period of time, then whatever the vaccine and all are there, that time itself they can, right? But that was not there. So the main purpose is such type of engineers should be prepared so that they can identify the upcoming problem. Okay, once they were aware about the upcoming problem or chances are there like this type of problem in future might be occur, so just start working on that one, so they can, once the problem will be there, they can just reduce the problem and they can just tackle that one. Now the traditional versus OBE, how this is there. So curriculum is planned and designed according to the need of today's students. So in OBE, whatever the requirement for today's is there, according to that the curriculum is planned. Teachers are focused on helping students develop new skill. So with this, how you can or how a student will develop a new skill, that is the main target of or main focus of the OBE, so that they can get those new skills and according to the demand of the industry, and they can survive worldwide. Means they can go anywhere and they can feel, oh, okay, I am upgraded to that level, whatever the other worlds are or other peoples are doing. Next is student knowledge assessment is done on the levels that track their learning and skill. So means what? It's at the level. It's not like that from one to last. Okay, you have. So at which level, like in a starting primary level, what you learn, in secondary level, what they should learn, in next what they should learn, like that. So it's the level wise only there. Okay, once you complete this one, then means now you are okay. That means you have some knowledge so that you can move for the next level. You can learn that things. Now the convention, what? Same curriculum is passed from the previous generation to next generation. So I also mentioned like CBSE exam is there. So right, that syllabus is there. So it's coming from last 10-15 years. Sometimes they are modifying not. So that is the what? It's a conventional one or the old one. Next, teachers are focused on completing the syllabus by the end of the session. So here target is what? Just to complete the syllabus. Once syllabus will be over, that teachers job got over. So this is the convention. What according to this you can see in this or compare this one. So here that was just to finish the syllabus, but here to help the developing new skill. Next, the student knowledge is assessed as per their obtained grade. So if suppose they got 8 CGPA, means okay that the student is up to 80% or 8 CGPA knowledge only he is having, right? But here that is not. What level of that one? Suppose you have the 7 CGPA and you did some good work like project or you have some prototype work or any other things, then you are the more intelligent than the 8 CGPA. So in this case, not only the grading, the other extra skills also can be determined or you can gain that one. Okay, so traditional versus OBE. So this is assessment mainly via exam, test, assignment. Quality control from teaching, evaluation. So these are the how the difference is there from the previous one. Now input, teaching staff, curriculum, lab, other resources. So these are the inputs what is required for the system. Now teaching, learning. So next process after this will be what? From these things all if is there, then the teaching and learning process will be there. Right? Now a student at graduation is after completing your degree. So once your teacher will learn and you will learn, the teacher will teach and you will learn, then means now you are at the stage of your graduation. So in this case what happened? Assessment by exam, test and assignment. So here all the three things will be there. Assessment of teaching staff, lecturer, lecture material and flow result and a student. Means here it's not about that need to finish the syllabus. Here teacher will have also the assessment. This teacher will also upgrade themselves to teach the student, to upgrade the student or so that the student can learn. Then the lecture material also is required. So here teacher will provide you the lecture material which you can follow, right? Flow, results and student capability, short and long-term courses. So here like some short-term courses you can finish in 1 month, 2 months, like you have some long-term outcomes also, right? So depending upon what is the requirement. So here short-term, long-term, everything is there. Means you can go for the long-term, for some project will be there for short terms. So short terms outcome also will be there, long terms outcome also will be there. Like suppose you went somewhere for 1 week, that will be the short outcomes, 1 week internship or some training purposes. So that will be the short outcomes of for you. And once you will finish your degree, whatever your project will be there, what you learn, that will be the long terms outcomes for you. Similarly, the lab, interview, exit survey. So these are there, means after the ending what will be there, that also survey is required here, means to analyze that one what exactly the student learns. Next is more thinking, project with analysis. So here more thinking is required so that the project they can go for the project and their analysis. Feedback from industry, alumni and other stakeholders. So here feedback also time to time they are asking or it's required so that they can suppose from the industry what they are required. If they won't give the feedback, then definitely we cannot improve. That means faculty cannot improve. If faculty cannot improve, means the student cannot gain that knowledge. Means if they are not fulfilling the industry criteria, industry won't hire. So industry feedback also is there. Means industry will give the feedback what that a student should learn, how to perform. If suppose they are there, then how they are performing and all. Means how much knowledge they have. That is. Next, alumni. Alumni also is required because what they learned here, they can only say after learning what they are doing. Suppose they got some job or something. So what helps, that means what they learned here, how that helps in the industry or whatever is there in that one. Then a stakeholder like faculty, students, these are the stakeholders. So from there also they are asking, like from the student also, the feedbacks is there. So according to that story, if suppose that some you are not, that all the major groups of the students are not liking any particular faculty, then you can ask for that one. Management will change that faculty. So here all the students' feedback also matters. In OBE, student feedback, that means all the stakeholders' feedback matters, right? And here next is clear continuous improvement steps. So all whatever the steps are there, everything you have to clear to improve yourself. Okay, this one. But this is the input. This is the process, that teacher and learning, right? No, sorry, graduation. Yeah. So in just explain that short term. So short term program and subject outcome. So with that, what you will get. Next is what after the short term, long term program, education outcomes. Right? Not only graduate to fulfill a stakeholder satisfaction. So means whatever the industry or other things are there, right? They are fulfilling their requirement or not. If it's not fulfilling, means it's a waste. You will not get the job, or you will not get, that means hired to anyone. So your degree or your what you have studied, that is fail. So means for up to the level of the industry you must have. So that's why after your degree, that means after your graduation, okay, if you are up to that level to satisfy the stakeholders, then your long-term goal, that means you achieve the long-term goal of the OBE. Short-term goal is what? Program and subject outcomes. So what with this program, what will be the outcomes for that particular subject? What will be the outcomes? So that is what the program subject, that is short-term goal of OBE. So now let's see the stakeholders who are ESC, employers, industry advisor, right? Advisory Education Council, that is ESC, academic staff, public and parents, students, alumni. So just see, I already explained these things, how they will be, that there, that these stakeholders are there. So means these will give the feedback according to the requirement, like parents also, how their wards is doing it, right? That is required or not. If suppose their wards is not able to understand that particular way, then they can give the feedback, okay, no, this is not the way, right? So you can, if suppose you will handle like this, then our wards or a student will learn easily or effectively. So all these that comes under the stakeholders can give the feedback, and according to the feedback only this process will be there. If suppose after this they are not up to the level to this one, means here according to this feedback, because after this definitely feedback will be there. So after this feedback by these peoples or these stakeholders, here it can be modified, or either here or here. Once if requirement is there to change here, then that will get changed, that will get updated or changed. If suppose to change requirement is here in the method, then that will change. So that's why these feedbacks are very important, because after knowing how you are performing outside, that is very important, or what is the requirement of the industry. Okay. Now focus and benefits of OBE. So that we will see now why we are targeting that OBE is required. Let's see. OBE addresses the following key questions. First, what do we want to a student to have or to be able to do? Means what? That is first, what is the target to what a student will do? So what do we want the student? Okay, like suppose engineers. It's not like that the normal engineer will be there. Right. So engineer at what level should be there? That is the first thing. Then or be able to do. So means that student is able to do up to what level. They can go for some small project also, some bigger project also. They can perform very well. So depending upon what they want and how or up to what level they can do. Next is how can we best help a student achieve it? The first thing, what we are seeing as a management of faculty. Then next is how can we best help a student to achieve it? Means how we can help a student so that whatever the target is there, means this is their want to see or able to do to achieve that goal. Next is, how will we know whether the student have achieved it or not? So now this is another factor. Means here, okay, this you wanna see that one. That means we wanna see you there. For that, we will help you. We help you. Right now, how we will know that you achieved that or not, or we achieved that goal or not? Because it's not like that we just finish, you pass the exam, and that's all. Then, so we have to track that also. You achieved, or that means we achieved whatever our target is here, that or not. So definitely we have to track that also. Next, how do we close the loop for further improvement? Means whatever the further improvement is required, that gap is there, right? So how we can minimize that one, or we can close that one, so there is no further improvement is required, and that is called only the continuous quality improvement. Means just upgrade yourself. Continuous improvement should be there. Whatever is required. Just give an example now. If C++ is there, now from C++ to how you can upgrade to Python, Go, right? So that's why continuous improvement is required, and that have quality. Means continuous quality improvement is very important here. Now this is the what key question. Now why OBE, right? So one we can say GQI also is there. Now benefit of OBE. So benefits of OBE. First, more directed and coherent curriculum. Yes, more directed towards the focus in already achieved what is the goal, right? So that is towards the goal. Okay. Graduates will be more relevant to industry and other stakeholders. More will be rounded graduates. So in benefit, what happened? Once you are upgraded to that one, you followed the OBE, means you are whatever the requirement of the industry is there related to that. You are having that knowledge, means you are perfect for that industry. So graduates will more relevant to that industry. Okay. Next, continuous quality improvement is in place. So with this, we can improve, or you can improve yourself till the lifelong. That also we have already discussed. So in this, till the lifelong, you can learn something to upgrade yourself. Now, advantages of OBE. International recognition and global employment opportunities. So with this, once you have the OBE, and in the starting we discussed that OBE just it's for the global student, so that they can up to the global level. Means once you are up to the global level, right, you can get a job or international recognition opportunity also. Next, more employable and innovative graduates with professional and soft skill, social responsibility, and ethics. So more employable means what? Definitely you have the quality up to the level of the requirement of the industry, which you will get hired. So more chances will be there for the job. Once you will fulfill, or a student will fulfill the criteria for the requirement of the industry, they will hire. So here, according to that only, OBE is prepared. So definitely they will have the criteria, so they can hired by the professionals, or whatever the soft skill, responsibility, ethics, what ethics should be there, how you have to behave in, suppose you are in workplace, then how to behave that one. So all other everything will be, you will learn. So that is the advantages of OBE. But in traditional, what is there? No, you have to just finish your whole course, and in last month might be some your quality improvement, or any that personal assistant, or this one personal improvement type classes you have to go for some outside, or some colleges are providing. So instead of that one, along with the course, only the self enhancement or that property, your all the whatever the ethics is required, that will also get improved. With this, what happen? Graduate will be aware of opportunities in the technology development. So here you will get the that awareness also from the how and from where the opportunities are there, then how to grab that opportunities, right? So because of the technology development. Next is a guide to writing and assessing learning outcomes. So National Board of Accreditation (NBA) is responsible for the accreditation of higher education institute in India. So by NBA only deciding, okay, the accreditation for the higher education. NBA was established by AICTE in 1994 and operated as an autonomous body since 2010. First, it was along with the AICTE, that is established by. Later, in 2010, it was autonomous. Okay. In 2014, it was granted a full membership status in the Washington Accord. Right. So now in 2014, they got the full membership. Hence, before applying for NBA accreditation, the concerned department should make sure that their COs are well served the purpose of outcome-based education. Means before the applying, you must have to show, that means that staff or department should show how their CO will serve the purpose of the industry or the outcome-based education. So that's why the COs plays a very important role for outcome-based education. Higher education institutions are classified into two categories by NBA. The first one is Tier 1, and that comes under like IITs, NIT, Central University, that is funded by the government. So these are Tier 1. Next is Tier 2. Institutions consist of affiliated colleges of university. So from some university, if that college is affiliated, that comes under the Tier 2 college. Now, this is the accreditation criteria for OBE. First, vision, mission, and PEO, program education outcomes, right? So these things should be there. Then what is the program outcomes, right? Then program curriculum, how you are drafting the program curriculum, student performance, how the student is performing on that one. Then what is the contribution of the faculty, that is faculty contribution, facilities and technical support, whatever the facilities or technical support can be provided, right? So now academic support units and teaching learning process. The next is governance, institutional support, and financial resources. Then continuous improvement. So these are the accreditation criteria for OBE. If any institute or anyone is following these things and having this one, then they can go for the OBE. That is outcome-based education. Now, outcome-based education for outcome-based accreditation. So OBE, that outcome-based education, what the student should be able to do, that is their attributes. Then OBC, that is outcome-based curriculum, how to make the student achieve the outcomes. So in this, the curriculum should be like that so that they can achieve the outcomes. Next, OBLT, learn that outcome-based learning and teaching method. Means how to teach the student or how the student will learn so that the purpose of the OBE can be achieved. Next, OBA, that is outcome-based assessment. Means here again assessment will be there according to the outcome-based education policy, whatever is there, or that according to the CO, that course outcomes. Now this is the OBE framework. So first just here, industry and professionals organization inputs and feedback. So from here, industry and professionals of the organization will give the feedback. According to that, the program will be made, right? In institution, what outcomes will be there? Mission, vision, and EZA, right? From here, PEO. Then from PEO, the student outcome. So now again, if suppose the student's outcome is not there, then again according to that the PEO will be changed. Now course learning outcomes, if course learning outcomes and student outcomes both are not matching, then again here is required. That's why you can see this and this is totally depends. If this is, that means student outcomes is there and course learning outcome is not coming, then again something is there that is required to change. So this is PO, that called program outcomes. This is what comes under CO, that course outcomes. Course planning, and so here how the syllabus, what will be the syllabus, then what will be the teaching method, learning activity, and assessment tool. Now from here, once just improvement, that's why continuous improvement is required. Improve, you'll get here. So this will be over the final. How to improve? So again by this one, assessment evaluation, not by given by the institutional assessment, not only just like the CI1 or continuous internal examination, or then program assessment and core assessment. So like this, only you have to move. Now after this, improvement will be there, and just sync to this one. Here, if suppose any improvement is required, improve that one. Then again, send here, again, this will work. If suppose this cycle will follow to achieve the OBE purpose. Now, administrative system for implementation of OBE. So how and what role is there to this one? So course coordinator. So course coordinator will prepare like this, how to handle the course, in that what should be there and all. Then module coordinator. Module coordinator is like module 1, module 2. So you can see that 5 modules are there. So in that module, what should be there, right? Then program coordinator, how effectively that will be handled, that OBE, that is by the program coordinator. Then program assessment committee. Now for assessment, what should be in the assessment? They have the separate committee, that is program assessment committee. Then department advisory board. So another separate board will be there or is there, right, to advise or to suggest how to improve the things. The next is internal quality assurance cell, IQAC. So this cell only will see that whatever the purpose is there, that is achieving or not, or that is getting or not. Now, program educational objective, PEOs. So PEOs, that program educational objectives, are defined by the head of the department in consultation with the faculty member. So PEO will be decided by whom? Department head, and with the concerned faculty related to that particular subject. Means in that subject, what will be the objectives of that subject is there. PEOs are a promise by the department to aspiring student about what they will achieve once they join the program. So PEO will shows only a student after joining the course what you will achieve or what you will gain or what knowledge you will have after this one. PEOs are about professional and career accomplishment after 4 to 5 years of graduation. So PEOs are about professionals. Program educational objectives are about professionals and career accomplishment. So this is not just for your degree that you once you will graduate, that's all. This will help you once your that course will get over after 4th or 5th year of the graduation. PEO can be written from different perspectives like career, technical competencies, and behavior. So these, by keeping in mind that career, how that will helps in the career, then that should be technical competencies and behavior. So by keeping these things in mind, PEOs can be written. In PEOs, do not use the technical terms as it will be read by prospective student who want to join the program. So in PEOs, what happened? A student will read and they just join. So they are not aware about that one. So if we will use the technical term, might be they will confuse or they will not aware. So instead of technical term, that should be the easier term so that the student can understand after reading or after completing the program. Now, program outcomes, like POs. The program outcomes is broad in scope and be able to do at the end of the program. So program outcomes, once program will finish, then what we achieved, that at the end of the program only we can find. POs are to be in line with the graduate attributes as specified in the Washington Accords. So POs should be what? In line with the graduate attributes, whatever is the requirement of that one. POs are to be specific, measurable, and achievable. So POs should be what? Depending upon, like suppose aeronautical engineering there, that should be related to aeronautical only. It's not like that some other, right? It should be measurable, that we can find, okay, that should be there, and achievable. It's up to, that means it should be possible. Means once we are defining that one, that we can or our student can achieve that one. And we has defined 12 POs and it is common for all the institutions in India. So according to these 12 POs defined by the NBA, right, we have to prepare that course outcomes and that program specific outcomes. List of POs. These are defined by the NBA. First, engineering knowledge. Then problem analysis. So related to whatever the field is there, in that their knowledge should be there. Then problem analysis, how to analyze the problems. Design development of solution. If any problem is there, that means after assigning, students can be able to solve or develop a new type of solution. Conduct investigations of complex problems. Suppose complex problem is there, then they can identify, okay, whatever the issue is there, so that's why they can investigate, conduct investigation of complex problem. Modern tool users. So they are using modern tool or not, just like this one, IARE is there. So that's a modern tool. Here we are using all the modern techniques to teach the students. The engineer and society. Next, environment and sustainability. That must be environmental friendly and sustainable also. Ethics means that must have the ethics. It's not like that after graduating and you are not having the ethics. Individual and teamwork. So in that also, that should be as individual as well as the teamwork is very important. Next, communication. Then project management and finance. And after that, lifelong learning. So this already we discussed. This in OBE is the one of the most key factor. Now, PSO, program specific outcomes. Now, whatever the subject is there, like in for aeronautical, aircraft structure is there, propulsion is there. So now that becomes the specific of that come. So program specific outcomes are a statement that describe what the graduate of a specific engineering program should be able to do. This aeronautical is there, so related to aeronautical outcomes should be there. Computer science means computer science type outcomes should be there. So that is the program specific outcomes. So for that particular program, these outcomes should be there. Right? So program, the PSO should be written in terms of what? A specific outcome of that particular department. So PSO written for the Department of Aeronautical Engineering is given below. So for aeronautical, what is there? So that is, first build the prototype of UAV and aerofoil model for testing by using low speed wind tunnel towards research in the area of experimental aerodynamics. So experimental aerodynamics on UAV by using the wind tunnel. So this is the program specific outcomes. Means after learning or after graduating, the student will able to make a prototype of UAV and they aerofoil and they can test under in the low wind tunnel. Next is focus on formulation and evaluation of aircraft elastic body for characterization of aeroelastic phenomena. So again, so formulation of evaluation of aircraft elastic body. So whatever the materials we use or how much strength they can sustain. So characterization of those elastic phenomena. Make use of multi-physics, computational fluid dynamics, and flight simulation tool for building career path towards innovative startup employability and higher studies. So by using multi-physics like computational fluid, so CFD in short we are saying, then simulation of this one. So by using these things, we can upgrade or that student can upgrade about the innovative things or their employability. Now, course objective. A course objective is a formal statement of what students are expected to learn in a course. So in this, that by writing the course, every module have one course outcomes. According to that, in that module, what a student will learn. Which means in that CO, what a student should know or learn. Course learning outcomes statement refer to a specific knowledge, practical skill, higher order thinking skill, ET. So once course of outcomes will be there, means these things will be there. Means a student will learn these things. That facility member accept a student to develop learn during a course. So, right? So this is the specific that course objective. Now the Bloom taxonomy. So Bloom taxonomy is considered as the global language for education. So means according to that only they are preparing. Teachers generally use it in writing the course outcome as it provides a structure and list of action verbs. So in that many verbs are there that we can use. According to that only the CO can be prepared. So in that different levels are there, right? So whatever the levels are there, so first one is simply just remember whatever is there you can remember, right? Information doesn't demonstrate having learned it, only memorization. So whatever is there, like spelling is there, apple, APPLE, why that is required, right? No, means apple spelling is apple, spelling APPLE, learn apple spelling. So that is simply remember. The next is understanding. To understand why that is there. It's not like that simply remembering that APPLE. APPLE is not understanding. Right? After seeing APPLE apple, if you are able to find this, now you are understanding this type of apple is there, from where that came. So that is ability to explain the ideas and concept to others. So that is the level of understanding. As much as you will explain, that much you have the understanding. Then you have the understanding knowledge, means you are able to explain that one, then apply that one to demonstrate the material or whatever the things is there. Well, after applying, analyze that means examine that information that is correct or not. If that is correct, then go for evaluation, means that is the demand. The student appraise the material in a way that lets them defend or argue against as they determine. Means once we are evaluated, okay, now this is there, what actually we required or what actually a student did, right? Then evaluation. So these 6 levels are there for the Bloom taxonomy. Yeah. So first one is the very basic is remembering, that is recalling, recognizing, listing, describing, retrieving, naming, finding. So in that first level, in second level, that is understanding, explaining ideas or concept, interpreting, summarizing, paraphrasing, classifying, explaining, right? So in these things, that is understanding. Applying, now whatever you have the ideas, apply that one. So using information in another familiar situation, implementing, carrying out, using, execute. So now once you understand, now execute that one. After execution, analyze that one, what you did, that is correct or not. So that is the breaking information into parts to explore understanding and relationship, comparing, organizing, deconstructing, interrogating, finding. So what you are required, what you are finding. So just analyze that one. After analyzing, evaluate that one. That must what you find or what you wanna find that you found or not. So justify a decision or course of action, checking, hypothesizing, critiquing, experimenting, judging. So by judging like that, okay, this should be there or not. Like suppose 1 mm defect is there, 1 mm defect should be there or not, or should be 0.05 mm only, or that should be 1.5. So just judge by experimenting and all. And after that, just once you have everything, just go for the creating. That is generating new idea, product. So once you will identify all the problems here, right? Then next is what? Your problem overcome. So now go for the creating of the prototyping or whatever your idea is there. So this is under the same, remembering this, we can use that one. Understand, okay, so these are synonyms of that one. Then third, apply. So these are the verbs which is used in COs. Next, for apply, these are there. For analyze, these are there. For evaluate, again we can use this one. The next is create. So all these levels what we can use and as a verb, it's here. Now COs, course outcomes. Course outcomes statement on the course level describes. So what actually that course statement is there, that course outcome. What faculty members want a student to know at the end of the course. Means what a teacher wants to teach the student. Next, what faculty member wants a student to be able to do at the end of the course. Means once this course will finish, what exactly a student can do, or what that faculty requires, that what faculty is thinking that after learning this course, the student can do that things. Next, course outcomes have three major characteristics. So what characteristics are there? First, they specify an action by the student learner that is observable. Means specify what action should be there and how that a student will learn that is observable. So this is just for observing. Next, how much they learned, that is required to measure. So that is measurable. They specify an action by the student learner that is measurable. So after that, how much they learned, that is measurable. Next is they specify an action that is done by the student learner. And after that, if suppose you learned, how you learned, how much effort you given. If you not, then why not? That comes under the three specific action taken by the student. Effectively developed expected learning outcomes statement should possesses all three of these characteristics. So these three characteristics must be there for effective development. Why? Because if you will not observe what a student is doing, what actually they required, then it's a waste. Then how much they did, how much they learned, that also should be required to measure, right? And how they did, that also is required. It's not like that suppose something is there, you copied from something, that not comes under the measurable. You cannot measure with the same. Means what effort a student has given to accomplish the course or that to learn that things. So these three, all the three are very important. That for effective development, all three must be there. Now, relationship of course outcomes to program outcomes. How course outcome and program outcomes are related. So first, relationship of course outcome to program outcome. The course outcome need to link the program outcomes. Use the following learning outcomes formula. First, what a student should be able to behavior resulting evidence. If their behavior will be there, then definitely their result will be visual. So for example, you can use the following template to help you write an appropriate course level learning outcomes. So upon completion of this course, the student will be able to what knowledge, concept, rule, or skill you expect them to acquire. By how will they apply the knowledge or skill will you assess the learning. Means once the course will get completed, that the student having the knowledge or not, that concept, rule, whatever is there, or before thinking, that must be there. Now, expectations on a student model OBE outcomes, that based outcomes. So students are expected to be able to do more challenging tasks other than memorize and reproduce what was taught. So whatever is there, that should, instead of memorizing that one, just mug upping, just what learn or reproduce what is taught by or what was taught by the faculty. Next, a student should be able to write project proposal, complete project, analyze case study, give case presentations, so their ability to think, question, research, and make decision based on the findings. So after this, a student should be able to do these things. Be creative, able to analyze and synthesize information. So now after this, that a student must be creative, even whatever that is there, that should improve. So more creative. Now after this, they must able to analyze, right, and synthesize the information. So whatever the information is given, they should able to synthesize that one. Next, able to plan or organize tasks, able to work in a team as a community on in entrepreneur service team to purpose solution to problem and market their solution. So after this, they have entrepreneurial skill also. They can work as a team or individual so that they can solve the problem of market. So first, in my previous video, I described about the CEOs and all. So what is CEO for the analysis of aircraft structure? So first CEO is what? Utilize the impact strength and fatigue strength concept for interpreting stresses due to axial, bending, and torsional loads. Their effects often, that means effects of inertia, Goodman and Soderbergh relationship, and stresses due to combined loading, cumulative fatigue damage. Means, according to first CO, what a student will learn, utilize impact or strength. Means how to utilize the impact of a strength. Because of that, what will be the fatigue strength concept? Means up to what level they can sustain, what is the fatigue load and all, what happened when the axial loading is there, if bending load is there, then what happened about the torsional load. This bending, twisting, and axial load, everything will see here. That means a student can apply the concept of this one. Then what will be the effect of inertia, how Goodman and Soderbergh relationship helps to find the fatigue strength, ultimate strength, and all other things we'll see, okay, by the combined loading. Then what will be the cumulative fatigue damage and all. So this will be for the CO1. That is like apply. Okay. Now next C is CO2. Choose strain energy and column concept for predicting the axial load, bending, and torsional load. So in that first apply what is the now by the another method that is called strain energy method or simply energy method, by that the student can find about the how much bending will be there, what the load should be there, at what form that they will get. That means after what or how many numbers that will get cracked or it's not in use, like fail safe life, right? Various conditions of this will be there, like both in fixed, one in fixed, other one in hinged, both in free. So by the column and a strut, they will see here. That means they will learn how to find the force acting on any beam, right? Either when the beam or strut is having both in fixed, one in hinged, one in fixed, one in free, like that with the various condition. Then next is they will learn also Euler column curve. Then not only how the curve will be there, then another will be there, the Rankine formula, by using that to find the crippling loads and all, and column with initial curvature. Now suppose for these things are having this one. Now if already that have the column that having the initial curvature, then how to find stresses and all. So student will learn in this one. So student will apply the concept of these things. Next is CO3. Inspect classification and characteristics of composite materials. Combinations of composite materials for finding the mechanical behavior. So first inspect means find which composite material can be used. Then classify and characterize the composite materials that can be used for the aircraft. Then combination of the composite materials means how we can combine the other so that composite material can be formed and that can be used for the aircraft structure. For finding the mechanical behavior, once the composite will be there, then what will be the mechanical behavior, like how much strength is there, weight to strength ratio, how much toughness is there, so all other mechanical behavior they will analyze in this one. Next is CO4. So in this, the student will develop basic terminology, laminates, manufacture, that means what is lamina, what is laminae, once that becomes a plural, then how to manufacture, initial form of constituent material for predicting, layup, curing, strength and stiffness advantage, means how to manufacture the lamina of the composites, right? So a student will apply the concept of by layup, curing and various methods. Then what is the advantages of stiffness, then what cost advantages and weight advantages. So means here earlier also I mentioned that strength to weight ratio should be high for the aircraft. So how the weight advantages will be there, that will learn by the student in the module, CO4, and that way they will be able to apply these things. Now CO5 is illustrate the concept, general aspects of shear stress distribution for interpreting end of a closed section beam. So in this, if a beam is closed, then how to find the shear stress distribution on that beam, right? If wall is thin, that is thin wall rectangular section, then how they will subject the torsion and all. So people, that student will understand in this how the shear distribution will be there on the closed beam on the thin wall rectangular section. So here they will understand. In CO6, make use of concept of torsion of an arbitrary section beam. So here a student will apply the concept of arbitrary section beam to describe the torque loading for determining the I section beam subjected to torsion and moment couple condition. So here they will apply the concept of what? I section beam and torsion will be the moment couple condition, right? So here a student will be able to apply these things. Now, what will the program outcomes for and that analysis of aircraft structure? So PO1 knowledge, PO2 will be what? Problem analyzing capability, PO3 will be development and designing of system, PO4 will be analyze and solve the complex problem. So first, that the knowledge that should be there. Then after we are having the knowledge, the student will have the problem analysis capability. So they can analyze the problem, what type of problem is there. Then development and design of the system. Once they know the problem, then it's required to solve. So for that, development and designing of the system is required. Once they have, then analyze and solve the complex problem. So if problem is complex, first analyze. So analyzing here itself. So now analyze and solve that complex problem. Then next is use of that PO5 is use of latest tool and devices. So PO5, what latest tool we are using, right? That will be there. PO6, society's responsibility. Whatever the society responsibility related to this is there, that is the PO6. PO7, that environment, right? So it must be environmental friendly. It should not like that and that produce hazardous or anything. That must be environmental friendly also. PO8, ethics of individuals. So means whatever the PO given by this one, all the 12 POs is taken care while forming the program. That means while forming the course outcomes. So then next is communication. Sorry, eighth one is ethics of individual. Then ninth one is teamwork and individual contribution. 10th one is communication. 11th is finance and management of the project. And 12th is lifelong learner. So these all the 12 POs incorporated in this course also. Now the program outcomes. So engineering knowledge means apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering. So how just see all the, we'll see how this course is organized. So apply the knowledge of mathematical, science, engineering fundamentals and an engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering. So here in specialization will be what? Aircraft structure. So engineering knowledge will have. Then problem analysis. So how to find the problem. So what? Identify, formulate, review research literature, analyze complex engineering problem, reaching substantiated conclusion using first principle of mathematics, natural science and engineering science. So this will be the second one, by using the mathematics and by reaching the or by reading the research literature and all, they can find the problem. So what exactly problem is there. So now once the student is aware about the problem, the next will be what? Design and development of the solution. So design solution for complex engineering problem and design system components or process that meets the specified needs with appropriate consideration for the public health and safety and the cultural, societal and environmental. That is what whatever the problem is there, now the student will try to solve or develop a solution of those problems so that the culture or society will get benefited. Next is conduct investigations of complex problem. Means what? Conduct whatever the problem is there just to see what are just. So use research-based knowledge and research method, including design of experiment, analysis and interpretation of data and synthesis of the information to provide valid conclusion. Means once problem is there, now its solution is developed. So now just check that, investigate that solution is correct or not based on the knowledge of what the faculty having that research method or including a design experiment. So means that whatever the POs will or COs will be given to the student, that will first should verify and come to the conclusion by the faculty. Next, modern tool uses create, select and apply appropriate techniques, resources and modern engineering and IT tools including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activities with an understanding of the limitations. So here just like ELRB. So that type of modern tool or new techniques, new resources like for online classes and all, that must be known or that must be used for the course completion. The engineer and society apply reasoning informed by the contextual knowledge to assess societal health, safety, legal and cultural issues and the consequent responsibilities relevant to the professional engineering practice. So whatever the engineering is there, so that must be given to the society. Environmental and sustainability, that must be environmental friendly and it should be sustainable also. So understand the impact of professional engineering solution in societal and environmental context. So how the engineer or professional will be that can play a major role for sustainability of that one, and demonstrate the knowledge of and need for sustainable development. Means how this course will help in sustainable development, that also should be. Next is ethics. Apply ethical principle and commit to professional ethics and responsibility and norms for the norms of the engineering practices. So while in the class, that must ethics or professional ethics should be used. Next is individual and teamwork. Function effectively as an individual, and as a member or leader in diverse team and in multidisciplinary settings. So function effectively, that means individually also whatever the things are there, that should be effectively done by this one, and as a member or leader in diverse team. So if suppose you are in a group of any work, that team, that as a member your work also should be effective, or if suppose you are leader of that one in any diverse team, you must have that effectively. That means outcome is there, or not only in the same department, if it's different department like multidisciplinary, there also. Next is communication. Communicate effectively on complex engineering activities. Means whatever is there, that communicate to the other team member or to any other where you are representing, that should be effectively with the engineering community and with society at large, such as being able to comprehend and write effectively reports and design documentation, make effective presentation and give and receive clear instruction. So means communication to anyone either by giving or taking, that is giving and receiving the instruction. You must be able to prepare effective reports, documents and the presentation. Next is project management and finance. Demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the engineering and management principle and apply these to one's own work as a member and leader in a team to manage projects and in multidisciplinary environments. So project, how to that manage, if suppose individual is there, then how your work is going on, that you have to measure, that you have to track. If in a member as a team or as a leader, then you have to track how or manage the that means project is going on and how to get the finance and all. Then the last one is lifelong learning. Recognize the need for and have the preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning in the broadest concept. So lifelong learning, how to learn and how should be learned, so that we will be updated to the industry requirements. Now, how program outcomes are accessed. So now how this is required for this one. So first, we use one, that engineering knowledge. Apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering problems. At having the strength, with that mapping we will see later. That will help in what CIA continuous internal assessment and semester end examination, that SEC, proficiency assessed by. Next, problem analysis. Identify, formulate, review research literature, and analyze complex engineering problems, reaching substantiated conclusions using first principle of mathematics, natural science, and engineering science. Again, having the strength to, right? That is proficiency accessed in CIA and SE. CIA stands for Continuous Internal Assessment, and SEC semester end examination. PO3 is design and development of solution. Design solution for complex engineering problem and design system component of processes that meet the specified need with appropriate consideration for the public health and safety and the cultural, societal, and environmental consideration. Again, that will be taken care of proficiency for accessing the CIA and SE. Next is PO4, conduct investigations of complex problem. Right? Use research-based knowledge and research method, including design and experiment, analysis and interpretation of data and synthesis of the information to provide valid conclusion. That having the strength 1, and that is again CIA and SE. So these things, how we will do that already earlier itself I explained. So just I am now telling this what exactly is required in this POs. So I'm not explaining again these things line by line. So PO5, modern tool uses. Create, select and apply appropriate techniques, resources and modern engineering and IT tools, including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activities with an understanding of the limitations. And having the strength 3. Again, that will be proficiency assessed by CIA and SE. Now, PO12, right? Modern life learning recognize the need for and have the preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning in the broadest context of technological change. So here strength is 1. So this is low strength, that means this impact is low in CIA and SE. So we can see the engineering knowledge that PO1, PO2 and PO5 having the high impact on CIA and SE. And problem analyzing is, that means, medium impact on CIA and SE. How program specific outcomes are assessed. So first, PSO1, right? So synthesize and analyze aircraft structure, propulsion, production, technology, and computer-aided engineering in aeronautical engineering air traffic control standard. So here, medium impact is there in CIA and SE. PSO to focus on broad knowledge of aeronautical engineering in innovative, dynamic, challenging environment for design and development of new products, having a strength 3, means high impact is there in the CIA and SE. So in CIA and SE, high impact on the PSO 2 will be there. PSO3, make use of design, computational and experimental tool for research and innovation in aerospace technology and allied stream to become successful professional entrepreneurs and desire higher studies. So again, this will be having the high impact, right? High strength on PSO3. Now we'll see the module 1. So in module 1, what we learned, that already we discussed according to syllabus. Need of applying impact strength and fatigue strength, concept for interpreting stresses due to axial bending and torsional load. Means once axial load will apply on the material or any beam or column, then what happens instead of that axial, if suppose bending moment will be there, then how the impact strength will be there, how the fatigue strength will be there, up to what level that beam or that member can sustain. Similarly, if the torsional load is applied on that one, then what happens? Right. And next, the combine of all the 3 also is possible. So if suppose at the same time all the 3, that is axial load, bending moment and torsional loads, is acting on the beam or that member, or you can say the aircraft structure, then what happened? Then what will be the effect of inertia, that we will see, or that student will see in the first module. Then again, for analyzing that one, that fatigue and strength, then SN diagram also a student will see in the same module, right? That SN diagram stands for that fatigue and that number of cycles, right? SN diagram, that is called. S stands for stress and N stands for the number of cycles. So after number of cycles, how the strength or up to what level that material or that member can sustain the stress before the fracture, that is represented by the ascent diagram. That also for different material is the different. That also student will able to apply the concept of that one by the using of Goodman and Soderberg relationship. Again, this gives in terms of the endurance limit, ultimate stress, yield stress, right? The relation between Goodman and Soderberg, just differences. One is for ultimate stress, that's Soderberg, and Goodman is for yield stress. So with that, how we can find that surface factor, size factor, right? So these things will be in this one, how the stress factor will affect the ultimate stress or endurance limit, or how to find the diameter of the, if suppose any load is acting, up to what diameter that can sustain, that will be the student will see in this module. Next, so how the mapping of each PO with CO is there. So for this one, CO1 having first program outcomes, and CO2 also from the first program outcomes, and CO2 having with the second PO. So CO2 matched with PO1 and PO2, and same CO2 with the PSO2 also. So this is mapping how they are interrelated, means how course outcomes, program outcomes, and program specific outcomes are interrelated to make the effective OBE. After successful completion of the course, the student will be able to summarize the impacted strength, that how the effect will be there, then fatigue strength concept, interpreting stress due to axial loading, bending, moment, and torsional load, and effect of inertia. Right, suppose once the air will, that stress or any like uniformly distributed load or point load or any load is there, like inertia will be there when uniformly distributed load or a uniformly varying load will be there, then what will be the effect? So effect of inertia will be there. Then by applying the Goodman and Soderberg relation, or which part of that part can be used. Alright, the stresses due to combined loading, if also I mentioned, if suppose they all combine, like moment also, the bending moment, point load, UDL, uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load, if that all the forces are all the stresses acting at the same time, they can analyze that one. And then cumulative fatigue damage. So overall fatigue, after that, how much damage will be there, how to find that much, what damage will be there, so they can that after they will be able to analyze. Now we will see in module 2 about the strain energy due to axial loading, then bending loading, and torsional loading. So first we will see that means the student will see about the only when axial loading is acting, then what happened by the strain energy method. If only the bending will be there, then bending moment will act, then what happened. And next only the torsional load, and after that the combining of all also. Okay, on a composite beam. Next, it's a Clapeyron 3 moment equation. So means by taking the 3 moment, how to solve the same by energy method, but it's given by the Clapeyron. So Clapeyron 3 moment method, how to solve the numericals, that the student will see. Next, in the same module, second part is about the column. So column with various ends condition. Various end condition means like one end is fixed, another free, both end is hinged, one end hinged, another fixed, or one end fixed, another free. So 4 conditions are there. So we'll see that the student will see, or student will learn about those 4 conditions. Then next they will learn about the Euler's column curve. After that, the Rankine's formula, how Rankine's and Euler's formula are related, or relation between the Rankine's formula and Euler's formula, from how Euler's formula to Rankine's formula, that Rankine's load can be found. Then with the, if suppose that curve having the initial curvature itself, that column having initial curvature itself, then how to find, right, that also student will learn. And then if eccentric load is there, then what happens? Means load is not acting axially to that beam, and then how to find the stresses, maximum stress, minimum, or these things the student will see here. And then next, Southwell plot and beam column we'll see in this module, or we'll learn the student in this module. So mapping with each CO is just like it's from CO2, and that comes under CO2, and PO1 and PO2 strongly based on the CO2 only. So mapping for PO1 and PO2. After successful completion of the course, that module, the student will learn what? The first thing, the application of strain energy due to axial bending and torsional load of the on the composite beam. Next, how to find the Clapeyron's three-moment equation, or by using the Clapeyron's three-moment equation, how to solve the numericals. Next, about the column with the various in condition, that I already meant that in condition, all the four in condition, like fixed, one in fixed, another hinge, both in fixed, one free, one fixed, one hinge. So these conditions the student will learn. After that, Euler column curve. Then Rankine's formula, again the relation between Rankine's and Euler. Then column with initial curvature, eccentric loading, means if eccentric loading is acting, or eccentric load is acting on a column, then how to find the stress and all. Then Southwell plot for the beam column on aircraft structural component, and determination of deflection and stresses under various loading conditions. So here we will learn about how to find the deflection when stresses acting on the various load condition. Then next, choose energy, strain and column concept for predicting the axial bending and torsional load. So by choosing a strain energy method like complementary energy, they can find, or they will able to find, the axial loading, bending and the various inch condition they can find. And then next, Euler column curve, Rankine formula and column with the initial curvature. So after finishing this module, the student will able to answer question related to this, or they can learn these things. Now in module 3, that is related to the composite material which is used in the aircraft structure. So first they will learn that classification and characteristics of composite material, means how we can classify, okay, what are the properties of that composite materials are there, about that. In that, next, combination of the composite materials, means how we can combine to form a composite material, and whatever the properties are there are required for the combination of those materials, that will see. Next, mechanical behavior of that composite material. Then basic terminology like laminate, what is laminates, right? So these things the student will learn here. Then about the manufacturing, how to manufacture the composites. So manufacture of initial form of constituent material by using layup, curing and various other methods are there. So they will learn how to form a composite, or how to manufacture a composite material. Next, they will learn about the strength and stiffness of that material, right? How they will get that one, that has advantages of strength and stiffness. Next, cost advantages and weight advantages, means after using the composite material, whether it's cost effective or not, that also student will learn. And weight advantage, like what is required for the aircraft is strength to weight ratio should be higher, so that weight advantages are there now. That means after incorporating the composite material, that strength to weight ratio got increased or not. So they can verify for the various materials. Mapping here, they mapped under two COs like CO3 and CO4, and with PO1 and PO2. And another one is for the fourth CO is for PSO2. After successful completion of the course, the student will learn about how inspect classification and characteristics of composite material. So after that, they will able to inspect how to classify and characterize the composite material. Then next, they can do how combinations of composite material, means how they can combine the composites to make a or how they can combine materials to form a composite material. Next, after that, they can learn about mechanical behavior on basic terminology like what is laminates, why their name is laminate, right? So they will learn these things. After that, manufacturing, how to manufacture that one, initial from constituent material. So from they have the two or more materials, constituent material, how they can form the composite by using different method like layup, curing and all. So they will also able to manufacture the composite materials by using different method. Then they can also identify the strength and stiffness got improved or not, that becomes advantageous or not. Then about the cost advantages after using the composite material, that should be cheaper, right? So if that cost of the composite material will be cheaper, means overall structure cost will be cheaper. So they will also learn here. and weight advantages to increase their strength to weight ratio. In module 4, that general aspects of the beam, right? Shear stress distribution at a build in and end of a closed section, right, beam, and thin walled rectangular section beam subjected to torsion. So here is when we'll see that closed section beam, right, and built in end means where it's there, like just building is there. Okay, I'm building that strut is there. So in that strut, if it's a vertical, then column is there, right? So over there, how the stress distribution will be there, right? Next, we will see about the thin walled rectangular section. So if rectangular section is there and that of thin walled, then how that after the effect, that how torsion will affect, or because of the torsion, how the shear stress distribution will be there. So mapping is CO5, and that only is for this one CO5, and that is CO5 is comes under the PO according to PO1 and PO4. After successful completion of the course, a student will be able to answer or will learn, illustrate the concept, general aspects of shear stress. So first they will, what is shear stress, how it's acting, how distribution will be there. The next, shear distribution for interpreting end of a closed section beam. So once a closed section beam is there, then how the shear stress distribution will be there, they will able to learn, or they can answer, and they will able to find the shear distribution on a closed section beam. Then they can again find for the thin walled rectangular section beam subjected to torsion. So when torsion is applied on a thin rectangular wall, then how the stress distribution will be there, that shear stress distribution, the student can find that also after completing this module. Next, in module 5, the student will see about the I section subjected to a torsion. So various shape is there, but here they will see I section beam subjected to a torsion. We can see even that like railway track also using I section because of the moment of inertia. So I section most preferably is there. So that's why I section torsion means on I section, if torsion is there, then what happen? Torsion of an arbitrary section beam, it's not only I is important, so that's why I, and for other also, right? Then distributed torque loading. So distributed torque loading is after distribution of the torque, how that will behave, that material or that beam or whatever the structure, like thin walled or closed walled, they will see that one. Next, extension of the theory to allow general system of loading. This is for the closed wall. And then next, moment couple equation. So by moment method. So in module 5, they will learn same thing like 4, but 4 is for open section and module 5 is for the closed beam, closed end beam section. Mapping with each CO and POs is, this is mapped for the CO6 and POs are 1 and 2 and it's related to PSO 1. After successful completion of the course, a student will be able to answer or learn, make use of concept of torsion of an arbitrary section beam. So they can learn how to find the torsion on that arbitrary beam, of how torsion is affecting to any arbitrary section of beam. They can also learn about I section, how I section, that means the concept of torsion for the I beam also. Then distribution of the torque, the distributed torque loading for determining the I section beam subjected to torsion and moment couple condition. So when torsion and moment couple is acting on any I section, then how to find the torque distribution, that also a student will able to find or a student will learn. Next, I section beam subjected to torsion, extension of theory to the allow for general system of loading is same I section. When torsion will be there, then what happened to allow just theory of the loading, they will able to find. And next, they can answer or they are able to solve the moment couple method. So these 5, so that program, this one is there, which student will learn after completing the full module. Now, overall conclusion of the OBE is, right, outcome based education involves the restructuring of curriculum, assessment and reporting practices for higher order learning, right? So why outcomes is required, that OBE is required, so that the restructure of curriculum happening again and again instead of like 5 year after 10 year. So every 1 or 2 year curriculum can be restructured. Then assessment and reporting practices, it will help for the higher order learning. Then next, understanding fundamentals very well. So one of the most key factor is understanding the fundamentals very well and learning new skill competencies according to the demand of the rapidly changing workplace prepare, right? So now another outcome, this one conclusion for the OBE is to prepare the global engineers. So first, according to OBE, that is the fulfilling the requirement of the rapidly changing workplace or industries. Next, to prepare the global engineers so they can sustain or they can work for global work, right? Now, what are the following key fact questions are there for OBE? So what do we want the students to have or to be able to do, and how can we best help the student to achieve it? So first, where we want to see the students, right? OBE says where you want to see the students, where do we want the students to have, okay? And if they are able to do, then how we will help them so that the best result will be there or their outcomes will be the best. That is the first key question. Next is how we will know whether the student have achieved it or not. Means how you will understand or how you will find whatever your target was there or you want to see your student, that student achieved or not, right? Next, how do we close the loop of continuous quality improvement? So whatever the gaps are there, like they are not able to improve the CQI, that called continuous quality improvement, how we can overcome that one so that the students can continuously improve their quality, right? So these are the key factor of the OBE. Based on that only we will work for the OBE. Now next is benefit of OBE. So more directed and coherent curriculum. So it's related to directly as earlier the key factor itself is according to the rapidly changed workplace. So more directed towards the focus of the industry requirement, and coherent curriculum for continuous quality improvement is in place. So wherever is required according to that, the continuous quality improvement, and that already we are seeing that should be the life learning process throughout the life that they must learn so that they can upgrade according to the requirement of the industry. So continuous quality improvement is required. Graduate will be more relevant to industry and other stakeholders. So these are afterwards they will graduate, they must be relevant to industry requirements and other stakeholders. Next, after completion, so this is for the about OBE. So after completion of the course analysis of aircraft structure, what student will able to answer, right? So that is the the application of mathematical principle on aircraft structural component and determination of deflection and stress under various loading conditions. So after the applying the loads, how the various load will affect that various stresses by different method. First we had seen, then second energy method, right? Then by open, if suppose open section beam is there, closed section beam is there, so that type of loading and their structure they can determine the deflection of various conditions. Then they will able to learn, or they will learn the concept of thin plate theory, how that thin plate behavior is there, their phenomena of thin plate, their structural stability, how that means that thin plate stability will be there according to structurally. Then analysis of bending, means after bending happens, then up to what level it should be there, what should be the maximum ultimate stress, or these things can be applied for such type of structure. Then effect of shear and torsion on the thin walled beam also there. So how shear and torsion will affect the thin walled beam, they will learn, right? Next, the concept of structural idealization and transformation of complex structure to simple structure. So now after this they can able to structuralize the idealization, whatever the ideal concept is there, that is there, to from ideal to the complex, how they can transform it. Suppose if easier is there, or just in simple way from paper plane to UAV, how they can make, after this they can answer. So structurally how that paper plane they can convert into the UAV, that unmanned air vehicle, they will learn here the structurally by finding the stress acting on that structure, then how to find how much energy, that by energy method only how much energy they absorbed and that much they will have the stress, then how the shear and torsion affects those structural beam. So these things, that means related to a structural, how on a structure the force or a stress will behave, and for improving that one, that is to minimize that effect, how the composite will help and how we can use the composite materials. For that one, the student will learn in this subject. So overall, this subject is in the core subject and one of the important for the aircraft or UAV stability. So these all modules are mapped according to the COs and POs, by keeping in mind that COs and POs are already we discussed about the module 1 also. So these things are the according to COs, POs I already discussed everything, COs, POs, how they formed, how to map and all. So based on that only the curriculum will moved, and that is the benefit of OBE, that is in starting itself it was there, that is in a structured form, right? So structured form is for how CO is related to POs and how COs that is related to POs, right? And based on that, what actual requirement for the industry is there. So these things cover, that is by OBE only, that a student will know that what is actually required and how they can improve continuously their quality, that is continuous quality improvement. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.